I just think that the lesson to other folks from that is focus on building something that people really like and that's very valuable. And one of our board members always at our board members at our board meetings used to make this. Whenever we'd be analyzing a problem, he would say, there's 100 problems that you have to deal with right now, but only 1 or 2 of them probably really matter, right? So just ignore the rest and put all your effort into focusing on the couple of things that really matter. And I just think that for almost any industry or product that you're in, it's just all about building products that people like, right? And if you do that, you can do so much other stuff wrong and learn from that and fix those mistakes over time and still end up in a reasonable place. And I don't know. So I think that we still make mistakes all the time. Take for example the conversation we were having earlier about the contact importer stuff and contact syncing. Do I know that we're in the right place? No, I think we're doing the best that we can right now, and we wake up every day trying to build a great product for people that's.
And let me talk about that. It's very difficult for a wealthy parent to raise children who want to go into their own business, let alone do it in a very sensible way. And how did you actually raise children that don't seem to be spoiled and don't seem to be rebelling against their father?
Well, it's such a great question, and somehow I hope I'll be here in 10 years saying the same thing with you, because you have great children, and I know your daughter, and she's so amazing. And, it's very complicated. I get that question so much because people see Ivanka and they see Don, and they're just doing well. And from the time they were, and I tell this to everybody, from the time they were 2 years old enough to think and old enough to speak, I would say, listen, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. I don't want drugs. They didn't even know what it was. And I'd say it, and then they'd be 15, and I'd say, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. Because I've seen people like you, like me, very substantial people, where they have children and they become alcoholics, they become drug addicts, they become other things. I add the cigarettes because if you can stay away from cigarettes, it's good. I don't smoke. I have no intention of smoking. But I have people, friends of mine, they're very strong. They smoke. They can't stop. They can't stop drinking. I went to the Wharton School. I had a friend who hated this taste of scotch. Hated it. But he tried to develop a taste for scotch. And I saw him recently. He's a total alcoholic. He developed a taste for scotch. And all he had to do is stay away from it. So I say no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, because I've seen many, many people that are very smart and very successful that have children that are very, very smart as you're going to find. Children that can go to Harvard, Yale, Wharton, any of the schools, but they're addicted to drugs or alcohol.
So what I would say, the best assets you have is that you are young. Don't complain. Let the other people complain. Those people complain, those people who fail. And do not always say, well, I don't have. Think about how you can make things different. Use your own brain to think. Lastly, I want to share you. I learned my English. I learned how to think, use my own brain. When I was young, I went to Hangzhou West Lake. We have a West Lake. There's a hotel. Many foreign visitors visit there. And I went there every morning, 5 o'clock, to practice my English. The foreign visitors come, I practice my English. I don't know why at that time. But I found everything the foreign visitors told me are so different from the things my parents told me, my teacher told me, and the newspaper I read. So since then, I think everything use my own brain to think about it. Is that true? Is that an opportunity inside? Is there anything I can do that make the difference? Think about this. And then when you think about this, start to do it.
Up 12 million, why don't you just say, you know what, I'm cashing out, I'm going in freaking bonds,
Right. You remember that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, take it away from dad and make it like rich bro, poor bro. So I'm surrounded by all these buddies who are like limo drivers, bartenders. All my buddies are like, dude, you're amazing. You picked such amazing stocks. They're going to the moon. I just bought a boat by following your picks, et cetera. Like, amazing. I was in this echo chamber of people like convincing me that I was a genius and convincing me that I was doing it right. And when things are going well, you're always convinced it's because you've somehow impacted them. When things are going bad, you always want to chalk it up to bad luck, right? When in reality, I think we sometimes realize, like, when things go really well, it's because, holy shit, our number came up and we got lucky. And when things go bad, we go do a postmortem and realize we screwed it all up, right? And so at the time, I've just got all these people around me reinforcing that I'm a stock picking genius. And and every time I make another bet, I make more money. I mean, the market had been like this for 18 months. And by sheer chance, I happened to be invested in the highest performing stock in the NASDAQ for like $19.99.
What was that?
Called FirstCom. It was a Latin American telco. It was a CLAC. Like, I basically understood telecom and I spoke Spanish, and all these things triangulate to me being like, oh, of course I'm making money in this stock. When really it's all a load of bullshit. And like, I was riding that bubble wave like everybody. So it completely explodes.
How are you able to be so outspoken?
When you ask me a question, I try to be honest. I flunked Diplomacy 101. I don't know, I'm outspoken because I could never I couldn't be a liar. I can only tell the truth. I would be a very bad liar.
I say that
because my father told me, my father never left me with anything material, but he left me the richest, as rich as I could be, with values. And he always told me, never lie about anything. You got to be honest. Because if you lie about one thing, the second time somebody's going to ask you, you're going to make up a lie to cover that first lie. And then pretty soon you've got a whole chain of lies, and then you're completely exposed.
But it's not the lying that I'm talking about. It's, I talk to so many CEOs, and, many of them are not able to be are not as outspoken as you. They're worried about
personality.
They're worried about their stock price, or they're worried about saying the wrong thing. They're worried about their investors. They're worried about
that's their issue.
About all the things that you just mentioned, right? That's
their issue. It's not mine.